You don't just have a physical body, you have a physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional body. Each one of these aspects are a body of its own. Body does not just refer to a physical substance. You have a mental body for thinking, an emotional body for your emotions, a spiritual body for your energy in your astral form, and a physical body to encapsulate all of these. Each four of these aspects are essential for the human experience and essential to balance. Now, today we're going to be syncing the four aspects of your consciousness with the four seasons and the four elements and how this ties into the Bible. So we have four physical elements. We have five elements in total, spirit being the most important, but spirit is pure invisible. We have four physical elements. We have air, fire, earth, water. Air and earth, sorry, earth and water are feminine. Air and fire are masculine. Air and fire are active. Water and earth are passive. The air corresponds with the mental body of consciousness. This is where your intellect, this is where your communication, this is where your thoughts, intuition all comes from. This is the mental body of consciousness that allows you to think, allows you to process, figure things out, and have intellect and gain knowledge. This is your intellectual aspect of your consciousness, located in the head region. We have a fire nature, a spiritual nature. This is our astral body. Our astral body is all to do with the subconscious realms, the higher realms of consciousness. This is the body that allows us to be free from the physical body. Our spirit is more of our energy. Our energy. Water is our emotional body. This is what allows us to feel things, that allows us to gain intuitive feelings of conscience. So, emotion allows us to understand what is right and what is wrong. When we feel something bad, we know that this is wrong. When we feel something good, we know that we are doing good. Emotions are a creational force that allows us to feel certain things to bring them into existence. Our emotional body is a creational force and should not be reactive, and they should be controlled. Most actions are stemmed from emotions. Actions bring thought into physical existence. Emotions are the driving power. They are what drives your actions. The thought, then the emotion, then the action. Earth is your physical body. This is your physical state that allows you to take mind and emotion into action, into fruition, into physical matter. This is what your physical body allows your consciousness, your soul, to interact with the physical world and bring things into physical existence. The physical body, the physical world, is an outcome and an effect of the thinking mind. All physical substance comes from the thinking mind. The pen, the phone you're holding, the microphone I'm speaking into, all began as a thought in the thinking mind, then it was brought into physical reality. Earth is the most dense. So it goes in this order: body, emotions, spirit, mind. The higher you go up, the more lucid and fluidic it becomes. The lower you go down, the more dense and dull it becomes. Air is the mind, fire is the spirit, water is the emotion, earth is the physical body. So this is why you are a microcosm. You have these four things within you. You contain of these four elements, which correspond to the four bodies of your consciousness, the four bodies of the soul. You are the soul. You are the spirit. So this is why in Theologians 4:17 it says, "Caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air." You don't meet God or the Lord in the physical air, in the clouds. This is clearly a parable. A human being cannot go up to the clouds and meet a mystical man in the clouds. This is obviously a parable, a metaphor. The air is your mind. You must raise your consciousness beyond the body, beyond the emotions, beyond the spirit, and enter in the mind during meditation, turning the mind inward to connect with the Lord. The Lord is the highest aspect of your consciousness, the one that exists beyond the physical body, beyond your emotions, beyond the thought. So you meet the Lord in the air, in the mind. The mind represents the air. This is why in America there's a saying called an airhead. You're an airhead. This means that you are stupid, or you don't think, or you have nothing in your mind. You have nothing in your head. When someone's very stupid, you call them an airhead, because air represents the mind. The air is elevated. The air is invisible. The mind is totally invisible to the human eyes. It is a metaphysical substance. In fact, it's not a substance at all. It's so fluidic, it's everywhere. The mind can be everywhere at all times. It can be anything. Nothing is impossible within the mind. Now, this is synced with the 4 seasons. The 4 seasons represent the 4 aspects of human consciousness, the 4 bodies of your consciousness, the 4 bodies of your soul. The sun is your soul. Okay. And the sun travels around 4 seasons. Summer, when the sun is the most hottest point. Autumn, when the sun starts to move away from the hottest point. Things start to die. Then it goes to winter. This is when everything dies. This is when things enter in within itself. This is when darkness occurs. Then spring. This is the reignition of the sun. This is when the sun starts to bring back the warmth back to the summer. You have 4 seasons, which correspond to the 4 bodies of consciousness. Fire is the spirit. This is when you are passionate. This is when you are taking action. This is when you are fiery. The sun is blazing. You're taking action. You're very passionate. You're very spirit. You're in the spirit. Autumn is water, emotion. This is when you start to become very reflecting. This is when you start to feel emotional, because in autumn there's lots of water. This represents the emotional body of consciousness. Winter is the mind. This is air. Winter, what happens in winter? Everything enters within itself. The leaves die, the trees die, everything dies and goes within. This is the mind. The mind is the darkness, remember. You close your eyes to enter within the mind. The winter represents meditation. In the winter, what do people do? They stay inside of their house. They research more. They read more books. They become more intellectual. They think more in the winter because we are so we're stuck inside. So we're more reflective. We're thinking more. We're more communicative. We're more intellectual. In the spring, this represents the earth, the body. This is when we start to come out of the mind and we awaken to the body, and things start to grow again. The plants start to grow. The earth is growing again and reborn again. This is the body. This is when you become more active in the spring. And then the summer, back to the summer, we then take action on these thoughts and these thoughts that we gained over the winter. Essentially, this is just a massive cycle. And this is a daily cycle also. The nighttime is the winter. The morning is the spring. The midday is the summer. And the evening time is the autumn. This is a microcosm. We have 4 bodies of consciousness. You are the sun. You are the soul. And the soul has 4 bodies: summer, autumn, winter, spring. Emotion, air, body, spirit. Sorry, emotion, mind, body, spirit. So you are the soul. You are the pure essence of consciousness. The sun is your soul in the heart. And the seasons are inside of you because you are a microcosm Okay, you are a microcosm. The word sun is son. The Latin word for sun is sol, which is soul or solo, because the sun is solo. It's on its own. You are the soul, and the soul has the 4 different bodies of consciousness. So before we move on any further, if I've blown your mind, please, if you can, leave a like, a comment, a share, and a subscribe. Let me know what videos you want me to make in the future. Please drop a like. It definitely will help me. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Man is a miniature universe that goes through its own cycles. The seasons of the summer, winter, spring, and autumn do not occur merely outside of him, but within him as well. The summer is within you. You feel different in the summer. You feel different in the winter. You feel, depending on the body of consciousness, your soul's interacting with. So the sun in the sky is your soul inside, and the sun goes through these cycles, which is affecting your bodies of consciousness, because the cycles represent your bodies of consciousness. Now, this ties in with the Bible. This is why we have 4 gospels. This is why Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are always seen with the 4 different zodiac sign animals or symbols. So you always see each one of the gospels. If you just type in on Google Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, type in ancient pictures, paintings, or pictures of them, and you will find these 4 zodiac signs are always standing with each one. Taurus, the bull; Leo, the lion; Scorpio, the eagle. An old symbol for Scorpio was the eagle, and a man for Aquarius. Here you see very, very ancient paintings and artwork. Here we see Matthew, the man, Aquarius. Here we see John, the Scorpio. Same here. We also see it on the tarot cards, on the world card. We see the 4 fixed zodiac signs. Here we see it as well. These are called the 4 fixed zodiac signs. Now, when we look at the zodiac, we're no longer looking at the sky, because what you must understand is as above, so below. What is above you is inside of you. What is above is what is below. What is outside of you is within you. The zodiac is inside of you. The zodiac revolves around the sun. The sun is your soul. These are different energies of your soul. Like I said earlier, the 4 seasons are the 4 bodies of your consciousness. And in each body of consciousness, you have these different energetic energies that you can work with. Okay, so this is the true astrology. This is the true astrology, the internal esoteric astrology. You can't find much information on this at all. Very hard to find. So what we're looking at are the 4 bodies of consciousness. Obviously, when you look in the middle of each, when we look in the middle of each season, spring, the middle of spring is Taurus. The middle of winter is Aquarius. The middle of autumn is Scorpio. The middle of summer is Leo. These 4 signs are known as the 4 fixed signs. Okay, Scorpio is fixed. It's the middle of autumn. Scorpio is a water sign, emotion. Aquarius is the air sign, the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, the body. Leo is a fire sign, the spirit. This is why we see Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John with the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, which represent the 4 bodies of consciousness. Leo, the spirit, fire. Luke, Taurus, earth, body. Matthew, Aquarius, air, mind. John, Scorpio, water, emotion. Each gospel is depicting Jesus and showing Jesus in each gospel. Each one of these gospels is showing and depicting Jesus according to the different body of consciousness. In John, this is when Jesus starts to turn water into wine. Water is emotion. Wine is transmuted emotion. This is when he does miracles with his emotions, water into wine. Aquarius, which is Matthew, air, the mind. Inside of the Gospel of Matthew, this depicts Jesus as an intellectual person, a person who's communicating and using his mind, his mental body a lot inside of the Gospel of Matthew. Go and read it, and you will see this. Luke, Taurus, earth, the body. Luke shows and depicts Jesus according to the body of consciousness, the physical body. He shows Jesus as a human, being a human being, helping people physically and helping people's physical needs, like giving away food and doing all sorts of good things for other people. Leo, Mark, inside of the Gospel of Mark, this shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher, a passionate person who is taking action. Each gospel is showing Jesus according to the different body of consciousness. And Jesus represents you, the Son. That's why it's called the Son of God, the light of the world. Jesus represents your soul, and your soul has these four gospels, the four bodies of consciousness, the four fixed signs, the four elements, and the four seasons. These things all correspond to your consciousness. So this is Leonardo da Vinci showing you the exact same thing. Jesus is the I am, the Son, the soul, in the middle, on his own. Luke, spring, earth, body. There are three people in each group. There are four groups, and there are three people in each group. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fall, winter, summer, spring. These are according to the four bodies of consciousness. Here we see Aries, which rules the head region. He's on the head of the table. Gemini, he's holding up the two hands because Gemini rules the two hands, the two arms. Gemini is the two twins, which is the two arms and two hands, and the two lungs. Here we see the beginning of summer, which is Cancer. You see the big knife here? Cancer, him here, this gray-haired guy, holding a knife for the crab. Cancer, they pinch. You have a knife, symbolizing the crab. Leo, the middle of summer, showing dominance. The sun is very dominant. He's got his elbow on the table, showing dominance. Virgo has no Adam's apple. Cancer here is pointing at this woman's neck, saying there's no Adam's apple. This is Virgo, the virgin, the only woman. Jesus, the sun. This is Libra, the balancing. He's holding his arms out, balanced, showing the balancing of the sun. Because when the sun enters Libra, the sun is balanced between winter and summer. So it's balanced. This is all astrology, but this is internal. Okay. This is Ezekiel's vision. Ezekiel had a vision in the Bible, and he saw the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, and the face of an eagle. The eagle, Scorpio, the ox is Taurus, the lion is Leo, and the man is Aquarius. He saw the throne of God, and he saw the different bodies of consciousness. This is all symbolic for the different bodies of your soul. So when we look at the zodiac, we are actually looking at a map and the energies of our soul, and the energies of our bodies, and the energies of our consciousness. This is what we are looking at. Each zodiac is an aspect of our consciousness and an energy that we can work with and that we must purify. Balance and purification is essential. Imagine playing a brand new video game. Let's say a brand new video game came out and you had to play it. What happens when you play that game? You don't know the controls. You cause chaos in that game. You can't really run properly. You can't do anything properly. You're getting destroyed by other people who are playing that game. It's the same with your physical body. When you are born, you must learn how to play the game. You must learn how to balance the mind, learn how to balance the spirit, the emotions, and the physical body. We must balance and purify each body of our consciousness. We must look after our physical body with our physical health by eating physical, electrical food like fruits and veg. We must look after our minds by being conscious of what enters our eyes, enters our ears, enters everything. Whatever enters our five senses is affecting our mind, our mental health, our environment, mental. We need to look after our thoughts, control our thoughts by purifying our thoughts, only positive thoughts. Then we must purify our emotions, feeling only gratitude and love and not feeling these negative, dull emotions. Then we must look after our spiritual body through meditation and looking after our spirit. But remember, when we look after our mind, it all begins in the mind. Each body of consciousness is interlocked with the other. If you have a negative, if you have an unhealthy body, you have an unhealthy mind, spirit, and emotions. If you have an unhealthy mind, you have an unhealthy body, spirit, and emotions. If you have an unhealthy emotions, you have an unhealthy spirit, mind, and physical body. They're all interlocked. You must balance each one of them. Look after your physical body, look after your thoughts, look after your emotions, look after your spirit. But remember, the mind is the most powerful one. It's mind over matter. Once we look after the mind, because once we start to control our minds and control every thought we think, this will then turn into discipline in our physical body. Because once we learn how to discipline the mind, we learn how to discipline what we eat, we learn how to discipline what we feel, we learn how to discipline our spirit. This is all interlocked, but work on the mind first. Work on the mind first. All of this knowledge is inside of the brand new Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. This is a revolution of human consciousness. If you've read it, please leave a review down below. If you've read Volume 1, leave a review down below. This is the next revolution. I don't see this information anywhere. This is the next revolution of human consciousness. And of course, if you are serious about this and you truly want to gain enlightenment and join an amazing community where you can connect with me on live calls, lectures, the Manifestation Mastery course, you can gain access to my library with over 45 PDFs plus my books. And if you do join the university, you can order a volume 2 free of charge. All you have to do is to pay for shipping. If you truly take your knowledge serious and you want to take advantage of life, join the university. This is where truth seekers belong. Just want to say thank you all. Please leave a comment. Please leave a like. It's going to help me a lot spread this knowledge to the world. And yeah, share this with a friend and subscribe. Thank you all.